Okay folks, welcome back to another workout with Josh. I'm going through another band workout with you today. Rather than using a flat band, like I've got a couple videos up with the flat band or the loop band for the glute exercises, today I'm going to do an upper body circuit with one of these long loop bands. They tend to come in different tensile strengths. This one's a 20 to 35 pound one. Though they come in a wide range. If you have a whole set, that would be great, and then you can move between different strengths of bands for the different exercises. Otherwise, I'm just going to be using the one the entire time, and we will go through a number of different exercises, including a couple different variations on a few exercises in case you have a preference for how you hit that muscle group. So the workout I'm doing today isn't actually in any specific order. The only rhyme or reason for the order I'm doing it is I'm actually going to start at the bottom and move my way up. So if you have a pole like this that's squared off, it's really nice for the rows, but otherwise a pole that's just a round pole like that, or even like a really tall banister or something in the house can work as well. So let's go, and I'll start with banded rows. So this one, I would set my feet up on the post. If you have just a round post or something, you might need to set up a board just to rest your feet on. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to check the strength of the band. You want tension on the entire way, and if it's a little bit too light, you can always double it up, or I'm going to just choke up a bit, and I'm going to go through 12 reps here. So I'm just pulling straight back, trying to keep my shoulders as still as possible, and just move from the arms, and then you're really using your shoulder blades, like your upper back, to really pull back. You don't want to be winging, like pulling your shoulder blades together into your spine. You want to keep your shoulder blades nice and wide and flat. So I'm just going to keep going here. I kind of lost count, but you'll want to do as many reps as you want, but let's say 12. So we'll just do a couple more, and then we'll move on. So here's the rows from a different angle. Try to see how I'm trying to avoid pinching my spine with my shoulder blades. I'm trying to keep them flat and wide. Okay, so that's banded rows. The rest of the exercises I'm going to do with it attached like so on the pole. So you simply loop it around, stick it through one of the loops, and luckily it because it's rubberized, it kind of sticks in place on the pole, but you might need to adjust it from time to time. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the pole. We're just going to do hammer curls. So these are for biceps. This one I'm going to do with a staggered stance. So I'm facing away from the pole. If I'm doing my right arm, I've got my left foot in front. I'm bringing it right up to here, and you're just pulling, rotating on the elbow. Your upper arm should stay quite still, and you're just doing reps from here. So if the strength of the band is too light, then you simply move farther away from the pole to get a little more tension in the band. Try to get that full range of motion. So here's the left side of hammer curls. The next one, I'm going to move the band up to just above waist height. This is a rehab, like a shoulder workout that I usually do. It helps if you've got rotator cuff issues or shoulder issues in general. So I've got it at about elbow height. Let me go a little higher. So these are called internal and external rotations. So here your body is next to the pole, and what you're doing is you're grabbing that band and you're anchoring your elbow in your side, in your hip, and you're just pulling across your body. So this is the internal rotation. So I'm not getting quite enough. You want to get a full range of motion, so you want to start from about here and pull all the way across. So try to have as little movement in the upper body as possible. You're bracing your core and just moving that shoulder in the socket, rotating. So the next one is the external rotation. So it's actually on the other arm I'm going to show you first, which is usually how I do it. I'll do both exercises because they both require you to face the same way. And this one's, generally you can pull less weight on the external than you can on the internal. So here, you're again setting up, except you've got your other arm, it's locked in right on the hip, and you're going to pull it across outside your body. Trying to just swivel that arm in place again. So usually you can do these with a weight as well if you're lying on your side. I usually maybe use 3/4 of the weight for this that I do for the internal rotation. It's a little bit awkward with this kind of band. You can also do it with a flat band, just anchored to a post. So all these exercises that I'm doing, because they require a little bit of movement of the band, I would maybe suggest doing sets of each exercise, switching arms, and then say do 3 sets of 12 reps on each side. So 12 reps on the right side, 12 reps left side, then go back, do another set. So that's internal, external rotations. The next one can be at about the same height. And this one is kind of like the opposite of the bicep, the hammer curl. So because you're working your biceps, you also want to make sure you're working your triceps. So here again, I'm going to go into a staggered stance, this time facing the pole. I'm kind of locking again, my elbow into my upper arm is staying as still as possible, and I'm just rotating on the elbow, and I'm just kicking that tricep back and really feel it up on the top. So that's 12 of that. And I'm going to show you a couple of different tricep exercises. So I wouldn't suggest doing them all in your workout. Maybe choose 1 or even 2 of them, and then you just to do the ones that you prefer or feel the best for you. The next 2 are going to be chest exercises. If you have enough band, you can do like a full chest press inside the band, but I'm going to show you just a single arm version of it. So here I'm facing away, and I'm just putting my arm actually inside the loop, and I'm just pressing forward with one hand. So I'm bracing my core, making sure I'm not getting twisted by the force this way, or using my upper body to work. I'm keeping my my hips square, and I'm just working one side at a time. Chest presses on the left side. So that's the chest press. Similarly, you can also do a fly. This one's a little bit awkward. You kind of have to just find your comfortable spot. And rather than pressing straight out, you've got your arm at a slight angle, and you're just kind of wrapping the barrel. So again, you're just doing one arm at a time, and you're pulling around. Flies. So that is, those are all like kind of elbow to shoulder height on the pole. Then I would move the band up as high as you can go. In my basement, that's about 6 feet. So I'm, again, tightening it up at the top, trying to secure it. So these are I'm going to show you two different triceps versions. The first one I call just Triceps Extensions. So you can do these single or double-handed. Single-handed, I'll just show you like this. So you've got it about a 90-degree angle in your arm, and you're just pressing straight down and bringing it back to there. So you might have to choke up if you need a little more tension, and start there, and you're just pressing down. Really feel it in the back of your arm. You can always use your other arm to keep the anchor in place. So that's very similar to one I usually do on a cable machine back in the gym. So Triceps extension of left hand. Another version that you can do that's more similar to maybe one that you would use with a dumbbell is the overhead. So here again, you can face away, and all you're doing is keeping that upper arm still, and you're just extending here. So you might need to pull away from the pole and just You can even use your other arm to anchor your other one in place so it's not moving too much, and just rotate around that elbow. Overhead with the left hand. That's overhead triceps extension. And then this last one, it's not so much upper body, it's a little bit more of a core exercise. You can do this either at the top coming down or from the bottom going up. So it's kind of an oblique exercise, and it's like a chop. So what you do is you grab it, usually two-handed. I've seen these mostly done with a cable machine, and all you're doing is pulling it across your body, trying to keep your, like you can rotate in this one a bit, but you're really bracing the core and just pulling that across, and it's working a little bit your shoulders, but mostly your core. Added chops. And there you have it. That's 8 or so more exercises you can do with a long loop band. All you need is a loop band and a pole, and you're good to go. Thanks for joining.